y'all, I'm Camryn Gardner, and you're listening to Hank Jr. on Hank's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hank's Corner. As always, I am your host, Hank Jr., part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and, of course, podcasting. And this episode is brought to you in part by the Tiki Cove in Land O'Lakes. It is my favorite spot when I want to go rest, listen to some good music, have some good food, be there on the beach by the lake. Remember the Tiki Cove if you're ever in the Land O'Lakes area. And I am happy about this next guest that's coming on. She is new on my playlist. You may have seen her on my new Music Friday post a couple of weeks back for her recent song, Talkin Tequila. Please welcome to my corner, Camryn Gardner. Camryn, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. And normally I always like to ask the guests where they calling in from because they're usually the ones that are all over the place. We talked a little bit offline. Those that follow me will know that this is not my normal background. This week I'm in the Philadelphia area doing some work for my full-time job, or some training, I should say. So it's a little bit different, but hopefully we don't have any issues. But are you calling in from Nashville today?
I am, yeah.
But you're actually from South Carolina, correct?
Yes, Florence, South Carolina.
So how long have you been in Nashville now?
I moved in September of 2022, so I've been here almost 2 years now.
Okay, so that's enough time to start getting a little feel of the area. What are you thinking about Nashville so far?
I love it so much. I tell my parents all the time, I'm like, you're going to have to move here because I don't think I'll ever leave.
So what have you liked so far about Nashville, and what do you miss about South Carolina?
Well, I guess moving from South Carolina, I thought that it would be a little bit more, and I'm sure it is in some ways, but cutthroat and just hard to get started in Nashville. But as soon as I moved, I was going out to listen to rounds and stuff. I met so many people in my first year, and now my second year, I've kind of created like a little community of people that I love hanging out with and collaborating with and seeing all the time. So I have just loved that it's such a big city, small town, and you're kind of able to meet people that are like-minded, and a lot of people that also aren't like-minded, but just kind of just how easy it is to get connected here, and just how many amazing people, songwriters, musicians there are here, and just how many amazing people I've met already.
Yeah, Nashville is unique in that way. As a photographer on the side and videographer, I noticed that a lot of times other photographers don't like to promote other ones, or it's very difficult to find that little community within the photography world. But when you go into Nashville and you talk about the singers and songwriters, and I've noticed it coming in as a photographer, that they really are kind of like a family. Now you're going to have those that are very competitive, and they're not going to want to help you out anyway. But for the majority, I've heard everybody say that it is a very like knit community, and it seems very like welcoming. And that's one of the great things about Nashville.
Yeah, it's really shocking, but it's amazing. I don't know that you could go anywhere else and find that. So.
Yeah, and has there been anybody in particular that has kind of taken you under their wing?
I have a couple friends that we've kind of moved at the same time, and we've kind of helped each other out. I have a friend named Kendra Remedios and a guy friend named Ashton Butler, and Ashton has actually been here a little bit longer, so he's kind of helped me meet a few different people. But as far as like being taken under their wing, no, but I'd say that we both equally have like helped each other and like loved on each other and collaborated and helped each other like book rounds and gigs and everything. So it's just been kind of great to grow into Nashville with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I definitely heard Kendra stuff. I know she's doing well. I'm gonna have to take a listen to Ashton. I have not
Yeah.
found him yet, so I'm glad you told me about him. I will definitely be looking him up as well. But before we get a little bit further down, because I want to talk to your music, but I have a new segment on my show called Two Truths and a Lie. And what I do is have the guest tell me three statements, two of them being true, one of them being a lie, in any order. And as we talk, I'm going to try to kind of sink it in and try to figure out at the end if I can guess it. Do you by chance want to do that? And you got two truths and a lie for me.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so my first one is my first name is not actually Camryn. My second one is that I am one of 3 kids. And my third is that I can play guitar and piano.
All right. So I got to distinguish between whether or not your first name is truly Cameron, you're one of 3 kids, and you play the guitar and piano. So, I'm going to be trying to figure that out. Those who are watching there at home, whether on Spotify or whatever streaming service that you're using, play along with us. And towards the end of the show, we'll see what we get. But I do want to talk about your music. So I found you when Talkin Tequila came out, and I really like that song. And that's when I said, hey, I need to get Camryn on my show. So tell us a little bit about Talkin Tequila.
Yeah, so I wrote it a little over a year ago. I think it was last January or March. And I wrote it with my friend Anna Scott and then Kendra Remedios. And I kind of just went into the right saying, a lot of the songs I've written since moving here are pretty serious or like breakup related or just something that you kind of like get in your feels over. And I was like, I just want a fun drinking song that people will like to kind of jive to or whatever. So Kendra actually had the idea of Talkin Tequila or like tequila talking thing. And so we just kind of ran with it, and it was one of the easiest writes I've had, and I just really, really love the song, and you guys should check it out.
Okay, and so I know I've liked it, on Spotify is where I listen to most of my music. Not that I'm promoting Spotify. I know I said it twice, but it doesn't mean I'm necessarily promoting them. But that's where I usually listen to my music. But when you're playing it out there live, what's the feedback that you get with this? I can only imagine, being that it is a fun song, that people are having fun during it.
Yes, a lot of people come up to me and they're just like, I love that song. Before I put it out, they're like, when are you putting this out? So I've got a lot of positive feedback on it for sure.
All right, that's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and play Talkin Tequila here on Hank's Corner.
Boy, I can see you across the bar, and I know it won't be long till you're coming my way, and you'll try to win my heart and pour me something strong, but you can go and hit the highway. Sorry about your boy, I won't sit here and lie. There's only one thing that could handle my time. I'm talking dizzy on the dance floor. I'm talking nothing but a heavy pour. I'm talking something home all alone. Sipping on something smooth. I'm talking nothing under 80 proof. Not talking about a man you understand. This ain't about you. I'm talking tequila. The truth is gonna kill you. 'Cause I'm talking tequila. Boy, I didn't mean to let you down. Please don't take this wrong. But you're just not my taste, and I can't go another round, and I couldn't lead you on. Nothing you say will make me stay. Sorry about your boy, I won't sit here and lie. There's only one thing that could handle my time. I'm talking dizzy on the dance floor. I'm talking nothing but a head. nothing but a heavy pour. I'm talking stumbling home all alone through my own damn door. I'm talking sipping on something smooth. I'm talking nothing under 80 proof. Not talking about a man you understand. This ain't about you. I'm talking tequila. The truth is gonna kill you. Truth is gonna kill you, 'cause I'm talking tequila.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. You just heard Talkin Tequila by Camryn Gardner. As like I said, as a photographer, I'm always curious about these things. So tell me a little bit about the cover art. Who did your cover art and where did you take this picture at?
Yeah, so I actually worked with Stephanie Siau. I think that's how you say her last name. She does a lot of stuff for Alexandra Kay out on the road, but I started working with her when my first single came out, and I just asked her to do Talkin Tequila because I knew she'd do a really good job. And we actually took the cover art at Mickey's. It's a bar in East Nashville. It's a little dive bar, but it's been there a while, and it is awesome. The owners are awesome. Go check them out. All he asked is that I promoted it and let people know like where he was at. So it's a great place to go and hang out, and also reach out to take some promo pictures as well. He's awesome.
That's pretty cool. And we'll make sure that we tag him when we post this video podcast out there. And, it kind of reminded me of not too long ago. I think it was actually last year in Nashville. And I worked with an artist named Julielle. And she had a bar that she had brought me to. And we did a little bit of work over there. And it just kind of took me back to that time. And, it's a great cover. I love it. And that's why I always want to make sure that I promote the photographer. And in this case, too, the bar as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit. We always got to know the backstory. I mean, like I said, here at Hank's Junior Productions, we want to document life's moments. So tell us, how did you get from, being a little girl, starting to listen to music? When did you get the bug that says, hey, I may want to be playing music? And how did you ultimately end up in Nashville?
Yeah. So when I was little, I think my parents always knew that I wanted, or that I could sing, or I could carry a tune at least a little bit. I was singing in my car seats and just humming around the house and always making up little songs here and there and playing a toy guitar that I didn't even know how to play yet. But I joined every single choir from the time I was, in the first grade until senior year of high school. I was in my youth band for 5 years. I did a lot of stuff just throughout school, but it was when I was in college, I was in all my college choirs, and I think I always knew that I wanted to move and do music, but I think just it felt very intimidating, and a lot of people just tell you, well, like, get an actual job or like figure something else out kind of thing. But I went to Clemson University in South Carolina, and I started out in engineering, and it was my third year, so it was kind of hard to make the decision, but I'm so glad that I did. I switched my major and switched it to business, and then decided as soon as I got out of school that I was moving to Nashville. So I moved 3 or 4 months after I graduated and have been here ever since.
Okay. And is anybody else in your family, a musician, or do you inherit that, or you just stood out from the rest of them and said, hey, look, I'm going to go this route?
So my mom can sing very well, and so can my grandma, and then my uncle can too. So people in my life are musically like talented and do have a passion for it, but no one did it as a career. I was one of the first ones that just said, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm super passionate about. So I do have musical genes, I guess, or people in my life that do like music and have a little passion for it, but I'm the only one that kind of took off with it, I guess.
And are you a songwriter as well? I mean, you kind of mentioned that you, worked on Talkin Tequila with somebody, but as yourself, are you a songwriter? Do you feel confident in writing songs?
I do, yeah. I didn't really do it much before I moved, but since moving, I really have developed a passion for that as well. And I have written a lot since moving here and learned a lot. So yeah, I would say that I'm a songwriter as well.
Okay, because usually one of the things I like to say is, or ask, what was the first song that you ever wrote? But you're saying that it was not too long ago that you started writing, so you should be able to remember the first song that you wrote.
Well, I know that I was writing them when I was little, but I don't remember any of those. But I wrote a song in high school, and it was called "Worth the Heartbreak," and it was after my first relationship, and I still like the song, so I guess that's
Now,
good.
now
But
was it a boy basher type song, like one of those Taylor Swifts, or was it just you were heartbroken?
I think it's just kind of like, even if he never thinks he did anything wrong, like even if he doesn't regret it, like one day it'll be worth the heartbreak. So
Okay, that
not
sounds
really a boy
interesting.
basher, just kind of like an uplifting thing, like you'll be okay.
Okay. The reason why I asked that is because when I normally ask that question, typically the males will have a heartbroken song for as their first that they can remember writing, but all the
Mhm.
females seem to be like, "Oh, that boy did me wrong, and he's going to pay now." So, it's great to see, that's not always the case.
Yeah.
And I'm a little curious too. As a Christian myself, I noticed that. You had a video out there on social media from Easter where you were playing a song because he lives. Did you get kind of your start as well, maybe in church? And was that one of the things that kind of helped you along, and vice versa? Does your career kind of depend on your Christian values?
Yes, I grew up in church. I have a really religious family back home. I still will go back and sing in my church on Christmas with my cousin. And I think it really has helped me because I do have those values that have just helped me kind of stand firm in my beliefs and my morals and how I want to carry myself. And just having someone to turn to through all the hard times in life, but also in the music industry, it can be hard moving 8 hours away from home. So, yeah, my faith is really important to me.
That's awesome to hear. And anytime I get the chance to promote that as well, I'm gonna do that because unfortunately you don't hear it as much. And it's not that necessarily the artists that I talk to aren't believers, but it's just something that's hardly ever pushed out there. And any chance I can do that, I will. And I also want to ask then about your trip to Honduras. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked about that. I went to Honduras 3 of my 4 years in high school. No, it was the last 2 years of high school and my first 2 years of college that I went summer. Um, and my church actually put it on, and we would take doctors, and my mom's a respiratory therapist, so she went, but it was a medical mission trip. And we would just go and do clinics for 10 days in the little towns of Honduras and see people that only saw doctors once or twice a year when people came in because they couldn't afford it otherwise. And I did a lot of the medical stuff, but I also got to go up in the mountains and take a little backpack guitar and sing to some of the schools and orphanages. And it's a big part of who I am. I wish I could go back. I would love to go back. I don't know that they've gone recently, but yeah, I just really enjoyed it. And if anyone hasn't been out of the country doing something like that, I would strongly recommend it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I will second that. Over the years, I have done, quite a bit of mission trips, whether in Mexico, in South America, or in the Dominican Republic. And one of the things that I found is, it's very different than the United States. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's kind of, our culture is a little bit more entitled. But when you go to places like this, they seem to be more receptive. And when that happens, I usually walk away, with a lot that really builds me up. When I was supposed to be there to quote unquote build them up. I don't know if that's
Mhm.
the way you feel as well.
I definitely do. And I know I've gotten backlash for going out of the country and doing mission work, just because a lot of people think that there's so much going on in the U.S. that we can help with first. But I think when you go somewhere like that, like, we're so lucky to live where we live, and we have access to so much that just people out of the country don't. And seeing those things and just seeing them, the believers over there, and how in touch they are with their faith with so little, it's so eye-opening. And yeah, I definitely think that their hearts are just so in tune with the Lord, and it's insane. I just love it. So.
Well, thank you for being willing to do that. I mean, it's not as glamorous as people might think it is when they say you're traveling to other countries such as this. It is a little bit hard on the missionaries that do that. So thanks for doing that. And I think this is a perfect time to play your song, Hero.
They say if you can do it without help, why don't you prove it? I'm tired of them telling me I can't. Being by myself is what I'm used to. Believe me when I say I don't need a man, don't need a knight in shining armor. I ain't a damsel in distress, don't need someone to put out fires. No, I don't need saving yet. No, I'm not someone to hold on to someone just because I'm scared of staying strong. There's nothing wrong with keeping up these walls. Don't need a prince to come. No, I can be my own hero. Even if I could fly, I wouldn't want to. If I could see into the future, I wouldn't want to know the truth. I let fate take the lead, I let life just come to me. I ain't made of steel, but I still feel bulletproof. Don't need a knight in shining armor. I ain't a damsel in distress, don't need someone to put out fires. No, I don't need saving yet. No, I'm not someone to hold on to someone just because I'm scared of staying strong. There's nothing wrong with keeping up these walls. Don't need a prince to come. No, I can be my own hero. There might be a day when I be saved, but my stubborn pride for now is keeping me alive. No, I'm not someone to hold on to someone just because I'm scared of staying strong. There's nothing wrong with keeping up these walls. Don't need a prince to come. No, I can be my own hero.
And you just heard Hero by Camryn Gardner, my special guest here on Hank's Corner. And, going down there, do you speak Spanish? Are you able to converse with the locals?
No, I took 3 years in high school, and I thought my first time going that I would be a lot more useful than I was, but thank goodness we had translators that helped us, and because I would not have been able to talk to any of them.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why I kind of gravitated to the Spanish speaking ones, because I do have a little bit of Spanish heritage in me, and it was easy for me to kind of communicate with that. Whereas I think if I went somewhere else that didn't speak it, I may not have had the impact, or I may not have received the impact that I did. But I do want to talk a little bit more specifically about the song "Hero," because I mean, it's not necessarily about that theme. It is about you being your own hero. But tell us in your own words, where did hero come from?
Yeah, so it was one of my first co-writes in town, and I had Dustin Kynes write it with me and my friend Sammy Lynn. And actually, Dustin, the guy in the room, was like, let's write a female empowerment song. And I think you two would be perfect in helping me write it. And then I was singing on it. And we were just like trying to think of words and things we could say that are just like, you can do it on your own. I don't need a knight in shining armor. Like, I'll be my own hero. I'll do it myself, kind of thing. And not necessarily bashing a guy either. It was just more so like, if people are telling you you can't, yes, you can. And you don't need anyone telling you that you can do it, because if you know you can do it, then you'll get it done. So we didn't really have a hook in mind. It just kind of flowed together. And yeah, I really love the song. And it's kind of my anthem nowadays. Well, and just since I moved, because you kind of have to be your own hero and cheerleader, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. So.
Yeah, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I was actually going to say that would be your anthem to get started there in Nashville, and get to that place that you want to be. But let's find out a little bit about you outside of the music, maybe a little bit too. Just kind of who is Camryn Gardner, and obviously music takes up a lot of time, whether you're writing, practicing, whatever it may be. But when you're not doing music, what are you doing for fun?
Well, since moving to Nashville, I have taken kind of a liking to hiking and being outside more so. I feel like I didn't really do that a lot in college. I go hiking with some of my coworkers on the weekends. I'm trying to think. More so just hanging out with friends, going and finding places in Nashville I haven't seen before. And I also love to go back home and see my family. I come from really close family and extended family that all has lived within like 5 seconds of each other my whole life. So I'll go home and I'll be home for 4 nights and we'll have 4 family dinners. And they do that when I'm not home too. So just hanging out with the people I love and being outdoors, and yeah.
Hey, you can't beat that. And, one of the things that I always talk about on my show is food. And I've actually never really got to enjoy the culture of South Carolina. I was there for some training before many, many years ago. But as far as food, what are some of the spots, and what did you grow up liking in South Carolina that, hey, if I ever go there, I need to try?
Okay, so I actually have a really niche one that I thought was all of South Carolina, but I went to school. I'm from Florence, South Carolina, which is about an hour away from Myrtle Beach and Columbia. It's smack dab in between both of those. But I went to college up in Greenville, South Carolina, or Clemson area. And anyways, I grew up on chicken bog, which my mom makes it. The fire station would make it for people who were sick, and they'd raise money and everything. But it's rice. It's kind of like a gumbo. It's like rice and sausage and chicken. And when I moved to Clemson, I was like, yeah, chicken bog, whatever. And they're like, we have no idea what you're talking about. So if you're ever in the beach or in Florence or just kind of low country South Carolina, chicken bog.
Oh, very interesting. And what is there for dessert? What are your desserts?
Trying to think. I'm not a huge like weird dessert person, but I just love brownies or any. But my mom makes a really good banana pudding. I just don't like banana pudding. So.
Okay. Well, I definitely could go for some banana pudding. I wouldn't turn that down. And then as far as a drink of choice, we got the song that you had out not too long ago called Talkin Tequila, which we played earlier in the show. Are you a tequila fan?
I will have a good margarita every now and then, but my favorite is a Moscow Mule.
Okay, so tell me what's in that because I've actually have not had a Moscow Mule.
Really?
Nope.
It's just vodka, ginger beer, I think lime, and something else, maybe simple syrup.
Okay.
So
Well, I definitely may have to try that. I'm a whiskey person myself, or if I'm not drinking whiskey, a lot of times it's beer. But I definitely would have to, maybe try to get back to a little vodka, which I haven't done since I was
good.
probably your age. So, but you never know. And then, of course, I'm always curious. Like I said earlier in the show, you are a new person on my playlist. Who, right now, if we were to look at your playlist, would be on there?
Oh my goodness. I have been on a huge like Lainey Miranda kick. I also love like Mae Estes and Ella Langley. A lot of the women in country music right now. So yeah, all of those. I'm trying to think of some more. No, I think that's it. Oh,
All right.
Carly Pierce. That is it. Carly Pierce.
Well, there's never a shortage of strong females that come out in country music. So I'm sure you could keep adding and adding them on, and that's great. And hopefully people start to see you and can say the same thing about Camryn as far as your lifestyle and look up to you as like your song says, hero. But let's get back to this two truths and a lie. And yours seems to be a little bit more difficult for me. I'm really unsure where this is going to go, and I'm actually 3 for 3. So it's got to happen that I got to miss one soon, and I have a feeling that it might be this one. But I am going to say, oh man, that it is true your first name is not Camryn. And it is true that you play the guitar and piano, but you're not one of 3 kids.
That's correct.
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm 4 for 4. That's just luck there.
I have one brother, but not 2. So
Okay. Is he older or younger?
he's younger than me.
Any interest in music as well?
Not at all.
Oh, well, sometimes it's good to be the only one that's doing something. It makes you a little special. And then, of course, whatever he's doing, it makes it special as well. But, as far as, going out to a Camryn Gardner show, and I haven't gotten to see you live, and I was just in Nashville not too long ago from the time that we're recording this. But if I get back up there again, or I happen to see you somewhere else in the world, what is a Camryn Gardner show like? What should somebody expect?
Yeah. I play a lot of acoustic shows. I've done a lot of full band, but I think it's just like a lot of my cover stuff is more so a lot of the 90s country female singers. I do some guy covers, but as far as my originals, it's very like story based, and I have a few that are like life based, and it's just in my eyes it's more things that mean something, and I just always hope to relate to somebody or to play things that mean something to someone. So kind of like that, a little bit more laid back and not as high energy, I guess, but I can be. It's just more so the singer songwriter and the play on words and things like that that I tend to relate to.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen on social media you played at places like the Listening Room and the Local. In general, though, where can somebody find you? Do you have a regular spot, or are you just all over Nashville?
I'm pretty much all over. I play a lot downtown at the hotels, the Moxie Hotel a lot, but I play at a lot of the singer-songwriter rounds, just hopping all over Nashville. But you can look me up on my social medias, and I should have my schedule out pretty much weekly. So
Yeah, and I was going to go ahead and say, be sure to follow Camryn Gardner on all her social medias. I have the link tree listed below here. Give her a like, give her a follow, tell her Hank Jr. sent you. And if you ever get a chance to see her, I know I will. I'm going to go out there and, watch her perform. But Camryn, it was great to have you on here on my corner, even though my corner is now not in the Tampa Bay area like it normally is. I'm out traveling. But of course, if you ever want to be a guest on Hank's Corner, you're more than welcome to do so.
thank you so much.
God sent